If you have your songbook, which I highly recommend carrying with you, we'll begin the japa circle today with a topic that matches where we're going, which is to Siddhabakul, the place where Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura did his bhajan. And on page 189 of your songbook, you'll find Srila Rupa Goswami's nāmācārya. And in the nāmācārya, Rupa Goswami, based on the Shastra, especially the 6th canto of Bhagavatam in the matter of Ajamil, explains nāmābhasa. And as Haridāsa Ṭhākura puts it when he's speaking in an assembly of the Majjūmadars, Hiranya and Govardhan, who had invited him as an honored guest to speak in an assembly of learned Brahmins and well-to-do people. Haridāsa Ṭhākura, after hearing two people speak about the glories of the holy name, saying that it liberates one or it vanquishes all sinful activities. So very similar points. He said, but that's not the ultimate goal of chanting the holy name. He said those are achieved incidentally. They're concomitants of chanting the holy name. And then he gave an example that before the sun appears above the horizon, the world's already illuminated by the power of the sun before it comes up. And this is the metaphor for nāmābhasa, which means before we directly see Krishna, as we're chanting the holy name sincerely, we're getting the light of the holy name, or we're getting Krishna's light, which naturally clears all sinful reactions. Aparada palam papam, kutam bijam palon mukam, krame naiva praliyante, Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. From the Padma Purana, Rupa Goswami quotes this verse about one who takes to the chanting of the holy name, and many other verses, as example, Aho bata shrapachato gariyanya jiva grivartate namatubhyam, te pusta paste juhuhu sasna arya brahmana nama grananti ete by Devahuti, who said if somebody even a little bit chants the holy name, jiva agre means just a little bit, with the tip of their tongue, literally, then they're known to have already performed all kinds of ritualistic activities, studied all the Vedas, what to speak of being freed from sinful reactions. And then Prabhupada comments, of course, it depends on the quality of the chanting. And it's one of the points in Ajamil. Ajamil was innocent. He wasn't trying to remove sinful activities because that's an offense, but he was innocently calling out for help to it. And he thought of his son out of affection, even though he was just a toddler. Now the point comes up with Haridāsa Ṭhākura in the assembly. Haridāsa Ṭhākura said, liberation comes automatically to somebody who chants. It's not a big deal. And one of the brahmanas there took exception to this and criticized Haridāsa Ṭhākura and said, liberation is attained after many, many lifetimes, and you can't say that it just happens by chanting the holy name. And Haridāsa Ṭhākura said it's in the Shastra. I just quoted Shastra, by the way. And these points summarized are in this poem written by Rupa Goswami. And if you look at number 3 on page 191, he says, O son of the holy name, even a dim glimmer of your splendor swallows the powerful darkness of materialistic life and gives those who are blind to the truth the vision to follow the path of pure devotional service. Who in this world, even if learned and pious, can fully describe your transcendental glories? Number 4, O holy name, the Vedas declare that meditation on the impersonal Brahman cannot bring freedom from karmic reactions. They must be enjoyed or suffered, but that when you manifest in one's consciousness, all karma at once disappears. And then back to 2, very essential aspect of nāmācārya that I mentioned the other day from Harinam Chintamani, lower level nāmācārya, which is also mentioned in the 6th canto. Sanketam parihasam va, stobam helam eva va, Vaikuntha nama grahabhi. What's the last line? Ashe shaga haram harim. There's a way in which, even if one accidentally chants the holy name, does it for musical entertainment or jokingly, or even derisively, which is mentioned here. O Harinam, O glories to you, sung by all sages, you are the supreme combination of syllables, and you bring transcendental bliss to everyone, even if a person utters you but once, even disrespectfully. Still you relieve his many extreme sufferings. So this is a clear aspect of our philosophy about nāmācārya. And we can remember that the quality of the chanting is important. We can also remember that no chanting is ineffectual unless you're a Mayavadi. And if you try sincerely to be present for the holy name and continue chanting, all good will come from that process of chanting the holy name. Any comments or reflection before we start? The prospect is so intriguing, you would like to enter immediately into it, right? Well, let's try. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. We just have a few minutes left before we start the Guru Puja. I was thinking how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as an avatar, came specifically to fulfill his purposes. Some of them were to spread the holy name as the Yuga Dharma. Others were his own internal reasons. But it's as if in a political campaign, when people start a party and then they have a cabinet and so forth in order to fulfill their purposes. And I was thinking of nāmācārya, Haridāsa Ṭhākura. It's kind of a cabinet position. What would be your position? You'll be the nāmācārya. Because he was very pro Hare Krishna. Haridāsa Ṭhākura believed in chanting Hare Krishna, so much so that that's all he did, practically, and then teach it to other people. And it's important to have a nāmācārya. And the holy name is something that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu promoted, and he expounded on the teachings he received from his spiritual master when he met Prakashananda Saraswati. Because Prakashananda, a Mayavadi, wanted to know why you're chanting so much Hare Krishna. And he's not reading Vedanta. And he told him that my spiritual master told me that I'm a fool. Why study Vedanta? And then he also taught a mantra from the Brihat Purana, Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, Kalau nasteva 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 gatiranyata. If there's ever been an emphatic teaching, it's that one, as it repeats 3 times 2 concepts. One is there's only one way to achieve perfection in Kali Yuga. It's that chant Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. And then emphasize on the other side, there's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way. And Mahaprabhu, although he was the most capable scholar, after all, he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he could think of any number of philosophical points to make, but he passed that one along to everybody, and then he named Haridāsa Ṭhākura, who was very simply focused on one thing. And I find that helpful, to have that as a structure to follow, which is, if all else fails, and it will, chant Hare Krishna. Any last comments? I mean, not last comments, unless something weird happens, but any thoughts before we start the Guru Puja? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, go ahead. This morning you were all at Tota Gopinath.
Yes, and there were some people who were not chanting because they've not been exposed to the Harinam, and I was thinking that
and they ended up in Tota Gopinath.
So there,
some Swedes walking in from. Okay,
they were just sitting there, and but I was just looking around, and I was seeing that the devotees, they had their bead bags and their hands in the bead bag, and while they were waiting, they were still meditating on the Lord, while other people, they were just kind of looking around, looking at other things. So I was just thinking that I'm so lucky to have this bead bag in my hand, so that when I'm still anticipating to get the darshan, I'm still concentrating on the Lord, and I'm absorbed in His thought, and this is a gift that I have gotten causelessly. There was no reason for me to be there, and
very nice.
This is what I have gotten, so I should cherish it and hold it.
Yeah, keep it glued to your hand. Oh, there's two more.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for this wonderful session. I'm feeling very grateful because we're able to chant the holy name in association of devotees. And today I felt like my mind was going to go here and there, but then I'm guarded by these two devotees here, and I hear them chanting. I'm like, okay, I can also chant. And I was really focused, and that was amazing. I said, thank you so much, Krishna.
Oh, power of association. You never know what your mind's going to do, right? Was there one more? Okay.
May I ask a question?
Okay.
You described earlier that even if one chants offensively or in namabhas, it is still beneficial. Could you elaborate on what the benefit is? Because my understanding was that the benefit might be that it removes sins, it might help one cultivate taste for chanting more, but it doesn't necessarily lead to Shuddhanam, but I could be mistaken.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur, as I said the other day, mentioned 2 levels of namabhas, or he mentions 2 levels in the Harinam Chintamani. And one level is based on the verse we've chanted several times already, Sanketyam Parihasam Va, Stovam Helanam Eva Va, Vaikuntha Nama Grahanam Asheshaga Haram Harim. There's a way in which if one accidentally chants the holy name of the Lord, then there's an effect. And that's namabhasa, because just incidentally saying the holy name for various reasons that are mentioned then, which I won't go into again. And then he says, if somebody is chanting sincerely with sambandhagyan, an awareness that Krishna and his name are non-different, I have a relationship with Krishna, and that this is the prescribed process, taking the medicine. He says such a person, namabhasa, may not have full awareness of the direct presence of the Lord. There's not a spurti that the Lord's appeared directly and revealed himself through the holy name. He said, but that person chanting sincerely under guidance, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur emphasizes that also. If you can get, he mentions this in this commentary of the 6th canto, that if you're chanting under guidance of a Vaishnava, meaning that if there's, he says this, if there's a Vaishnava guru that's chanting Hare Krishna, you can get the name from the guru, and then you should take it, because then you're chanting under guidance. And he said, if that's available and you don't take it, then you're committing the 3rd offense. But in any case, he then goes on to say that if you're chanting namabhasa in that, with sincerely trying under guidance, then he said you'll definitely achieve the ultimate result. And just as a last point, since time is out, there's a lot of flies in here, and I was thinking how Haridāsa Ṭhākura was considering the moving and non-moving living entities. That was his mindset. He was thinking, let the holy name be chanted loudly, because what about the little critters? The flies flying around here. I was just watching them bouncing around here, and with the Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And he said the plants, the trees, everyone. So it's a good idea to expand the chanting of the holy name for oneself. Everything else will be disappointing in this world except for chanting holy name. So you can always increase the quality and the quantity. And you can always arrange to broadcast the holy name in writing and out loud in various places around the world, and everyone will benefit from it. And that's the campaign of the head cabinet member for the chanting of the holy name, Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura, the nāmācārya, is that's what he taught. So we can just follow that. And it was just a sublime experience, the intentionality of coming here, sitting together and chanting Hare Krishna, wasn't it? It's too nice. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura, if you so desire, please empower us with the vision of the sublime nature of the holy name being directly Krishna himself. Please let us chant it 24 hours a day, and please let us expand the chanting of the holy names in written form and also out loud in Nagar Kirtan in every street corner of the world and on the internet and everywhere else. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer. Please say Hare Krishna. Hare